Right, hi everyone. Welcome to this video, detailed walk round and a little bit of a chat about this Defender 90XX. It's a 54 plate vehicle, so it's a TD5. It's got 75,000 miles or so. Please double check the advert. It's not your standard TD5 this. You may notice there's a slight hint of blue in the paint. It's been repainted in a very dark Loire Blue and has also had a brand new chassis, galvanised chassis fitted by Foley Specialist Vehicles. So I run a business. We help to restore Defenders and buy and sell them. This one was built for a very good client of ours. We did it, gosh, must have been 18 months ago or so. He's enjoyed it, but has now decided to buy a Grenadier, so is moving this on, and it's now your opportunity to have a look at this and see if it might fit the bill for you. It's a very, very special vehicle, and has been built with sort of no cost spared, so to speak. So starting with the backbone of the vehicle is the chassis on these. They're really the only bit of steel on the vehicle, and this one was fine. There was a little bit of corrosion on the rear crossmember. If you look at the MOT history, you can see nothing was brought up about corrosion or anything like that. But we decided to send it to Foley and fit a genuine GKN. So GKN make the chassis for Land Rover chassis. This was galvanised and then powder coated black. So I haven't actually cleaned underneath here really, but you can see the chassis there. So the galvanisation means it won't rust for a very, very long time. Years and years and years, far longer than a sort of unprotected chassis, 50, 60, 70 years. The rest of the vehicle was in super condition, but whilst we sort of went through the process of doing the chassis and changing the suspension and new brake lines and new bushes on the suspension, the client and I were chatting, and he decided that it would be nice maybe to change the colour of the vehicle. He was not really a fan of black, and it was a black TD5, so we decided to paint it Loire Blue to match his Range Rover. Now, sorry about all the strimmers and mowers going off. I hope you can still hear me all right. So yeah, it was fully stripped internally, externally, roof off, side panels off here, and painted properly in a booth and baked, and it's a lovely, lovely finish, and just looks so smart. And there's, I don't know, is it a one-off? I don't know. There probably are other TD5 90XSs in Loire Blue. In fact, there's a Puma one over there in the distance, but they didn't have this paint for the TD5 model. Let's just whilst around the back here, we've got two extremely bright Labcraft lights that are controlled from on the dash there for reversing. They create a huge amount of light, and also to help the reversing, we've got an Optimil LED reversing camera built into the nice billet number plate light there. It's got LED lights. They're just a bit brighter, makes it a bit safer, and it just stands out a bit more. And as you can see, all the bolts have been changed as well. So you see all these bolts here and along the bottom, they've all been changed for stainless steel. And this obviously is the chassis and is galvanised inside and out and powder coated. It's got a Mantec spare wheel carrier here, which holds the boost alloys. So these are the boost alloys that the car sits on, the ones that it came with. It's sitting on slightly wider tyres, so they're 265 section BF Goodrich all-terrain KO2s. Bloody good tyre, nice and quiet. They don't really wear out. They go on for miles and miles and miles, provide plenty of grip, and most importantly, as I just mentioned, they're very nice and quiet. In regards to quietness as well, it's been fully soundproofed inside, with Dynamat on all the sort of lower levels of the vehicle. Let's just quickly finish off out here though. So it's got a very nice aerial here. This is made by a German company. It's much better than the standard Land Rover one. It's a bit, it's a short and stubby aerial, and it just looks the part. stainless steel flap hinges here. All the plastics, so these plastic bits here are normally just bare plastic. That's been painted gloss back, that's been painted gloss black. And the mud spats here, which you can see, which stop because the tyres are slightly wider. If you look down there, you can see these tyres stick out. They're still within the mud flap, but the normal mud flaps end here. So we get these flaps put on the front and back, and it just prevents mud splatter. It still happens, but it prevents a lot of it coming through. We've looked at the LED lights at the back, so we've got LED lights at the front as well, so side and indicator, and these are Noldens. They're Gen 1 Noldens, and these are actually what Land Rover fitted to the 75th anniversary, the big V8 thing, 500 horsepower, whatever it is. So yeah, they look very, very smart indeed. And the grille has all been changed. Sorry, I've just noticed actually they were changed. They're saying Brit part on them. They used to be Noldens when we built it. I've now got it back from the guy. One of them failed, and he's put Brit part ones on it. So please ignore that one. They're very good lights, but they're not the Noldens. New bumper, stainless steel fixings, new lower AC grille down here. All the AC fan has all been treated, and as the AC grille below, the condenser, compressor, etc., all working 100%. Let's have a quick look inside, because things get quite fruity in here. TD5s are not renowned for their comfort, so a set of premium full leather seats were fitted, and these are heated, and they've got the nice Land Rover logo up here. I can't tell you how comfortable these are. They you can see the extra support on these bolsters here, and they just provide a huge amount of support. To get a bit more room in the vehicle, there's a little Momo steering wheel fitted here, which is really nice. Gives you a bit more legroom in between the seat and the seat base. It's an XS, so it's got air conditioning. The air conditioning system, as you can see, is a real afterthought on these. It's just bolted under the dash. Works a treat though. We've got in here new gear knobs, etc. It's got a longer Ashcroft transmission, so it's got a 1.2 transfer box in there, so it doesn't rev its nuts off. You can do 60 in third, and it's been remapped, so it goes like hell. You'll see here, this is a C-Play to air system, which links up with the JVC head unit here. This is an Apple CarPlay, so you've got sat-nav, your text messages, WhatsApp, Waze, Google Maps, and Spotify. And I've got it so it comes through wirelessly, or you can unplug this and just hardwire your phone in there. It's a really good system, and you've got some USB ports there, and this head unit just lifts the whole interior, because getting in and switching on the nav and switching on Spotify, it just makes it just so much more usable. One thing, however, is their stereos in these are appalling, so we fitted Focal tweeters up here, Focal mids here, and in the back there's slightly bigger ones in the back, and a Phoenix Gold sub behind this Land Rover lockable cubby box here, which provides really good sound performance. Look, it's not show standard, but it's all you need, and it's crystal clear and very easy to use. We also fitted a genuine Land Rover Alcantara roof lining. You can see there it's held in nicely by these to stop any sagging with the normal plastic clips. And we had some very nice leather sun visors made here, and they match the door handles, and it's all Muirhead leather, and they also match the rear seats. So the rear seats are always a bit tricky in these. So we made these, had these made, I should say. We didn't make these. I'm not that clever. In Muirhead leather, absolutely lovely. The smell in here is just amazing. So full leather to the bases and the backs, and we then treated all the clips and bolts and everything. So everything's brand new in the back here. And one thing you might notice, we've got the seat belts down here, but we've also removed the lap belts that sort of just spill out onto the load area and fitted nice retractable ones. They're really, really nice to use and very, very tidy, as you can see there. And you see how neat everything is down there. there's the Phoenix Gold sub, and this sort of rather funny bit of kit down here, that's the jack and wheel brace, etc, etc. So it's all soundproofed under here, under this carpet, and it provides a really quiet, nice ride. I say quiet, it's quiet for a Defender. Because we went black with the leather and black with the roof lining, the side parts here made in plastic looked a bit off, so we had them painted in a sort of low sheen black, and it just really looks very smart in there now. I need to change that bolt on the spare wheel carrier here, it rattling. I'll just go under the bonnet and show you what it's like under there. Sorry, it's a bit difficult doing it with one hand. So, first of all, that's the paint finish under the bonnet. That's the turbo heat shield you can see there. It's really nice. So now down to the engine. Very good engine. As I said earlier, it's been remapped, so it's about 150, 160 brake, and with the longer gearing, it just chugs along very nicely. And if you want to, it can be relatively leery as well. It's got power steering. Usual issues with these engines, there's a fuel pressure valve at the back that leaks. That's all been changed. I'll upload a lot of the history stuff with this vehicle. This was bought by my client a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and was sold with a full service history. That the book for the service history is being found as we speak, but it had a full history, and he's serviced it every year since, and it's had obviously a lot of service work done when we've done everything to this. Again, we'll upload lots of invoices so you can see the money that's been spent on it. I can't quite remember what it is, but it's north of 25 grand has been spent on this car to make it what it is. In fact, I think it could be getting near to 30 grand. It's a really special thing, and I think the TD5 is the sort of last of the true Defenders. I mean, they all, you can see these ones in the background, they're the Pumas. That they're great, and I love them, but these have got the flaps on the bulkhead, etc., and therefore, I don't know, it just feels a bit more classic. It's a lovely thing. Let me just quickly go through a couple of little blemishes on it, and there's a very small dent just there. I don't know if you can see that if I move the camera. Very small dent there, no broken paint, and a very small chip on the paint there. There's a few bits of tidying we want to do to it. We're going to go back underneath it and steam clean the suspension parts and axles, etc., and give them a nice coating of Dinitrol to ensure that the vehicle looks as good as it does on the top as it does underneath. It's a lovely thing. If you've got any questions, please do fire them across, and I'll do my best to answer them. But hopefully this video gives you a really good understanding of the work that's gone into this vehicle, and also just the quality of it. It's a really special thing. So any questions, please fire them away. Thanks. Bye bye.